Hello, this is Gabriel with ABU Games, and we've got all the cards in now from our latest big shipment to BGS to get graded. And instead of doing individual cards, I thought I'd just have them laid out here and go over them. So let's start up. So on the alpha and beta cards, I could have definitely done a little better, I think, on them. Alpha cards, I'm not sure what the deal is, if BGS knows what they are, or it's just something about the corners or something about them. It's really, really hard to get high grades on alphas. So even alpha 9s have a pretty premium value over just a standard near mint to mint raw card. So it's not the end of the world to get a 9 on an alpha card, that's for sure. Still has value to it. Did pretty decently on the Arabian Nights cards and the Antiquities cards. Got quite a few 9.5s on these merchant ships. Those are really, really hard to get centered, so I'll usually make an exception on those and just hope to get other good subgrades because they're still worth. I mean, you're just trying to get a nice mint or really nice condition one. I still think it's mint even if it's off-centered. So that's just the condition of it is mint. So most every single one of them's off-centered. So you're still trying to find nice examples for people's collections. I got a decent amount of 10s, I guess, all around. Nothing super high end, mainly just some uncommons and commons. But just getting any card a 10, vintage cards, is awesome. So I'm never going to be disappointed to see a 10, that's for sure. That Argivian Archaeologist, 9.5, that's pretty sweet. And I think, yep, so I'll zoom in on that one. It's a pristine 10 Flying Men. Now, especially any Arabian Nights card, you can get a 10. That is awesome. I'll take that all day. Sorry for the glare, but I think it's pretty much unavoidable when you put out this many cards. There's a Jazamjin 9. That's pretty cool, even at a 9. It's got pretty decent subgrades of 9.5, 8.5, 9.5, and 9. So two 9.5s. Would like to see that corner get a 9, so at least be even, but still pretty nice. It's so hard to get corners to be a good grade. That's the limiting factor for sure. It's so interesting though, because anyways, we got to this ancestral recall. So I was gonna explain this one. This was more of a experiment more than it was hoping to get a really high grade on this guy. It has like a small tiny crease almost in the upper left corner. And so, but the rest of the card was really nice, like super high end. So I wanted to see what BGS would do. And I think my theory is correct that they downgraded the edges and corners because it just wasn't that great a card because of the little crease on it. So, but I think the edges and corners should easily have been a 9 or 9.5 on these. So I was wondering what they would do. They obviously ding the surface for the little crease, but I guess they might have also dinged the edges for that too. So I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a cool card because it's unique, I guess. It's a decent Ancestral Recall, 9 on a unlimited Ancestral Recall. I don't know what I can do about that glare. Sometimes it's just going to be worse in some areas than others, I think. But it'll, as I get in between the lights, it'll pass. Maybe if I go at an angle like this, it'll be a little better. There's hope Apple's stabilizer is in full force moving this thing across here. That's a cool one, a pristine 10 Helm of Obedience. That's nice. Then limited cards, I did really good on these. Here's a pretty cool card. Death Grip. And putting the case upside down. That's just the way it came in. Now, if I contacted BGS, they would allow me to send that back and they'd recase it for free, but it's kind of a funny thing, so I'm just gonna leave it. It's not like a very super expensive card or anything. It's kind of funny. You'll get those with a large shipment like this. There's gonna be some kind of weirdness that happens where I guarantee you somewhere in this thing there's a card that has the wrong label on it. That happens. You'll have basically two cards will get their labels like switched, I guess. I haven't noticed it yet, but it just always seems to happen. All right, there it is. A Black Label Pristine. Perfect 10 Unlimited Shatter. So that might seem like a kind of a lower end card and it's not that special to have but to find any unlimited card, perfect all 10, to get that, just to put it in perspective. Now I sent in about 2,500 cards on this shipment, and that's it. Got one all 10 pristine. So probably, I haven't figured out exactly, but I'm thinking off the top of my head that's probably going to be about a $300 premium is what I'll put on that. And some might say, you're going to charge $300 for unlimited shatter? Are you out of your mind? Well, if you're trying to find those pristine, perfect 10s, I mean, you can't just look at a card and say to yourself, "Oh, this card's so good, I'm going to send it in. It's going to get a all 10 pristine." There's just no way. I think the only way you're going to get them, if you're sending in cards to get graded, is to send in insane amounts of cards like this. This insane amount of cards to send in, and still only one. Get only one. So if like that's all you're trying to do is get all 10 pristines, forget about it. You'll go crazy shipping them in trying to get just those. So to put a premium of that price on there, I think is it's definitely there's definitely value in it. I don't think it's ridiculous. Besides the fact $300 for unlimited shatter is ridiculous, of course, but I don't know. It's all perspective. I don't feel like it's a unreasonable thing at all, though. All right, hitting the end here. All right, so we got more than this, but that's all I could fit on the tables. So what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna pause the video, and through the magic of video editing, all of a sudden there's gonna be a whole nother set of cards on these tables, and it's gonna take like no time at all. Let's see if that happens. And they're back. Still did not get them all on there, so we'll actually have to have one more video after this one. But I think we found most of the Legends cards, the additional ones. Plus a bunch of reserved list cards. Temerian Fiend. That's a funny card. All the anti cards are pretty much on the reserve list now. Haven't played anti in quite a long time. It was funny, I used to play with a guy, and the rule was that we played by that if you flipped over your opponent's card and he didn't want to, he wanted to keep that one, he could choose to have you, like he could keep that one and then you just ante 2 additional cards off the top. So he's taking a chance that that 2 cards would be worse than that one. So if you had like one really good card in your deck, you could make sure that you never lose that one. But for whatever, this was way before like any kind of limits on how many cards you could play. And I think he had something like 20 Sarah Angels in his deck. It was like the best card back in the day, pretty much. Anyways, it was so funny because we were playing for Annie, and of course I flip over one of his Sarah Angels, and he's like, no, I don't want to lose that. So he goes for 2 more, and what do you know, 2 Sarah Angels. It's like, what are you hoping for? That was funny. Then he like grabbed his cards and ran. Didn't even like wouldn't let the game go. He was just too upset. A lot of these antiquities cards have been really spiking recently. Cards like, what was it, Haunting Wind? It's never been in the hit, like, until recently, has never been anything people are really looking for. But now people want them. Hard to predict which cards are gonna become really valuable. Spirit Link, that is such a hard card to get a good grade on, and I didn't get a good one again. Centering is always so awful on that one. Hey, that's a really nice Caracas. Even 9 5s and a 10. That's awesome. Unlimited cards, man, I really was just killing it on the unlimiteds this time. Got so many good grades on those. Alrighty, I think one more and we will have them all shown. Be right back. Alright, we're on the home stretch. A lot of cards. Took a long time to get to this point. There's still more to do. So after I get done with these videos here, then every one of these cards is going to be individually pictured, front and back. It's added to our website. Then everything, all these will go on a silent auction. So if you'd like to be part of that silent auction, get a chance at these cards, you can go to our website and put your email into our newsletter, sign up for the vintage mailing list. Then you'll get an email when the silent auction is up. Usually, yeah, it'll take me about, I don't know, it might take 3 or 4 weeks before that's ready. It takes a significant amount of time to get all these processed, pictured, and added and everything else. The reason we do the silent auction versus just put them up for sale is we used to do that, just take our new cards, put them up for sale, but it takes so long to get them up, and I found myself adding them at all sorts of crazy hours, and people would be they wanted one specific card, they had no idea when that card was going to be listed, and they would be totally frustrated because they wouldn't catch it when it just got listed and they had no chance. So the silent auction gives everyone a fair shake at putting an offer on a card. And since it's a silent auction, there isn't like this big bidding war that goes on where people are trying to outbid each other and get. So I think it's the most fair way I can come up with. So sure is fun messing with these though, I'll have to say. I love looking at them. It is a lot of work, but it's pretty fun work. This part of the table's got a ton of 9.5s. This is what I wish was on everything. All right, and this final bit here of cards is not cards that I sent in to get graded, but cards that I've picked up over the last few months. People have traded in just off our buy list, but they were graded, or I made a deal for them or something like that. So some pretty nice stuff. A couple Lotuses, a Time Walk, Ancestral. So all these, we'll add these to the silent auction as well. Bunch of Alpha 9s, pretty cool. All right, I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate all my customers, and hope you enjoyed this review of this. And till next time, thanks.